more importantly, why you need to become a hero. And that is because of the TV show Hero. It's a good watch. In my personal opinion, it's not quite as good as Lost, but this is Hiro Nakamura, the most famous character of the series, and his power is, he is basically, or he refers to himself at least, as being the master of time and space, Chronos. The thing I want to say is there are more than one connections to Lost in this particular line, and there's actually very little on Heroes compared to Lost. So anyone diving into the research on that is going to find out that there's not that much to see. Nonetheless, there is enough. We are here on my channel, and when I did the video deciphering Lost, episodes 3 and 4, Tabula Rasa, I noticed something quite sneaky. Heroes. Season 4, Episode 5, Tabula Rasa. There's a lot of things these two shows have in common. What's important here, the reason I'm bringing it up to you now, is to prove that Heroes, the series, exploits something that me and Whispy told you about months ago, and that is certain songs fit into certain scenes. Now, remember, the beginning of this episode, the first scene I showed you was the eclipse forming with the planet Earth and coming out of that guy Peter Petrelli's eyeball. Now listen to the song that's playing while the eclipse is going down and whilst she looks through a science project of her son's. Just check out the scene and listen carefully. In your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes. They picked the songs from the first episode to the last episode of this series to fit the scenes perfectly. Believe it. Grand Theft Auto did no different. That's not new information. We brought this up months ago. You need to understand certain things that I and that Whispy has been saying, and that even Bry and Jack Treehorn have been saying for ages now, are very, very relevant and very, very important to our research. Thing that we're going to be seeing, and this is the first time our friend Hiro Nakamura teleports. Now, as I said, he is master of time and space, which allows him to stop time, travel in the past and future, and also teleport to wherever he wants. That's the space part of it. This is the first time he actually pulls it off. Check out what he does. It's his signature move. Praise the sun. There you have it. Every single time, praise the sun. Something that we've shown you time and time again. Things that need to be understood correctly. Power. God. Praise the sun. All things that I'm going to be tying into one great big circle. On his own investigation, and basically came down to the best example of what Capital Oro is all about. So, for those of you who are not familiar with my good friend, here's his YouTube channel. Here is the title of the video in question, and believe me, if you have not seen this, it's just as good as anything I've ever brought up before. So give him a chance, guys. Go check that out, because there's stuff that cannot be neglected in there. But before my camera battery dies, tyres. Now, as Jack Treehorn sent me on Skype just a second ago, apparently these are the atomic rims in the selection. That's probably the name for them. But rims. This is from the movie Capital of Oro. It was the one thing throughout the whole film that did not fit for me. It was too modern. The boat, pretty much passable. The naked women in the high heels, still passable for an old school kind of scene. But these rims, modern. Far too modern. And that got me thinking. The same as I was thinking way back when I showed you the Rockstar wallpaper. This one with a rim. Tire and rim. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, rim, rim. Like, what could it possibly be talking about? And then it kind of hit me. And as I said, I'm just planting a seed until next time. But check this out.
White.
No, it was worse than that.
The F-word?
Well, here's a short list of the things they've been saying, okay?
Oh, dear God.
What the heck is a rim job?
Oh, why, that's when you put your legs behind your head and have someone lick your ass.
That's where you put your legs behind your head and have someone lick your ass. Uranus. Seed planted.
Oh, shit. A rim job. A fucking rim job, you guys. I want you to understand exactly what Herbalist is talking about here, okay? And why he even showed you something so out of nowhere like South Park, okay? No, this episode is not about South Park at all. This episode is about seeing things in the program that they were created in. When we look at a puzzle, we are given choices. We're given a choice to not even open the box. Keep it inside of a box. Or we're given a choice to open it and experience different things and observe different pieces as they are. You also have a choice, okay, to leave them face down, not seeing the picture that the entire puzzle accumulates. Or you can flip them right side up and understand that this is a 1,000 count puzzle, but there are steps to complete it. So although there are many steps, there is a way to complete it. A seed planted needs water, and water is seeing blue. I want you guys to start not only picking up on the word plays here, but you need to start understanding the way this mystery was built. Okay? This is why cinema is important. But most importantly, why LS and or Los Santos is important. So before we get into this video, you guys, I want to make a few things note, okay? As usual. In this game, they say LS, okay, as an acronym for Los Santos. No different than GSF being Grove Street Families in San Andreas. Now, us knowing this is only half of the battle, and it's no different than us knowing, okay, that the Bible is a book, or understanding that it is also an acronym that is a basic instruction before leaving Earth, or that Allah is a God and or arm, leg, leg, arm, head. These are acronyms, and they're all tied into word plays and why they are relevant within this mystery and why they tie to religion, but not only religion, but things that religion has conformed itself around, okay? The things that have based themselves on the same allegories that have based this mystery on. Now, before I lose you, I want you to understand exactly what I mean. We're going to do something very, very simple, and we're going to use a tool. In fact, we're going to use an engine, the Google engine. But within the Google engine is a tool that translates. Now, we're going to take something as simple as loss. If you do not already speak Spanish, you would know that it is the, and when it is connected to Los Santos, we actually get some very interesting clues when it comes down to the actual given translation. the saints. Now, why is this relevant? Well, when Herbalist said that Lost has a bigger relevance within this mystery, and when I brought up the fact that we may have been looking at the lost clues in one aspect, well, the fact of the matter here is that this is just one more proof to that process.
Every motherfucker here knows what we need to do. And those bitches be riding around here thinking they own these streets. I don't care what flags they flying. Rollers, Carnales, Vice Kings. No one's making this nigga scared to walk the road. We about to lock this shit down right now.
All right, yeah! Yeah! Fuck yeah! Who the fuck's this guy?
Troy and I found him. We're gonna see if he'll ride with us.
Julius, if he wants to run with the Saints, he gotta be canon.
Now, one of the main reasons I'm even showing you this, if you haven't already understood the correlation between the Saints of Saints Row and why they are a duality of GTA. But there's actually a deeper connection here that we have not understood, and it has something to do with this man. This man right here is named Johnny Gat, and he's a very, very interesting person and very important. But before we do get down to that, there's something I want you to understand that is right in your plain sight, that you've probably seen a million times in this game, playing it. But it took you to understand a mystery in GTA for you to understand it, and why they have balance strategically written, as you see. Balance. And it's no different than with scales, okay? A grand scale, either within law or understanding that is a balance of powers and or forces from evil and good. The reason why I'm showing you this inverted, okay, is so that you understand that there is a balance between them being the evil purple that they assimilate, being a gang that does not give a shit about anyone else, or understanding that they have the choice, okay, to be canonized as a saint and understand when they need to forgive themselves of sin.
Now, the armory weapons, okay, are very interesting, but for now, let's focus just on the wordplays.
Actually, let's focus on the armory weapons, especially this ninja star that they have very blatantly on the wall of weapons. Now I ask you, why would they put that there? I'm not discluding that this may be a future weapon, but what I am saying is maybe this could be some sort of a connection. Now, when understanding certain aspects of Saints Row here, we can understand some of the things that we have been looking up in the mystery, like references to words like water, okay, and why still water is a big representation of the location, alright, of Saints Row. But, once again, if it's one thing I've taught throughout this mystery, is that when you think you have solved something, you have not gone deep enough. Period. And it all goes back to digging deeper. Very deeper. Now, let's start with a V and why we have Grand Theft Auto 5, or V, being relayed in a symbol. Okay. Volition. Alright. Not only were they created when Parallax Software, alright, was split into two companies. Parallax is a very interesting word, but I will leave it up to you if you want to look it up and understand something or not. But the fact of the matter here is that for those of you thinking, well, dude, this has nothing to do with GTA, this is a whole nother game, they don't need, it's two different companies, Rockstar, Volition, blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter here is that you're not digging deep enough and understanding that these companies talk to each other, regardless if you think it or not. Not only do they talk to each other, but believe it or not, Saints Row almost was bought by Take-Two Interactive, the company, okay, that makes Grand Theft Auto. But eventually, they were bought by something deeper. Deep Silver, a ninja star. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is for aspects of understanding. But we're not done here. We need to understand a little bit more about Saints Row and why it connects before we move on to the grander steps of the deep aspects of the connection here. Now I want you to ask yourself, okay, did I bring you here for Saints Row just to do some nostalgia? No, listen, it isn't about just nostalgia. Nostalgia is a big part of this mystery, but it is how we use nostalgia and how we understand the programming within the nostalgic things that will give new clues that branch into stronger bits of evidence into what we are looking for and how we are supposed to look for it. Now, understanding that, we need to understand Saints Row. Not only does it assimilate a lot of the aspects of a Peach, okay, and not only does it bring similarities to GTA, but we need to understand an aspect of Saints Row that we have not been paying attention to here, okay? And that is an engine, all right? We need to understand engines. Not even just Saints Row, but for now, let's start with one. Saints Row, okay, these Saints Row games are ran on the Havoc engine. Now, what's interesting about Havoc is the fact that within the Easter eggs of the game, there is one that is synonymous with all of the spiritual aspects of the game that have been tied to why they would even mention this specific Easter egg and why it is a yoga move. Praise the sun. But it was noted to be in Dark Souls. And Dark Souls was ran on the Havoc physics engine. Engines. Once again, something to tie this mystery together. And it is one of the main things that we will understand in the coming episodes. So I hope that a majority of you are ready for the deeper aspects of this mystery, because quite frankly, I've been holding back a lot of the things that are deeper, because honest to God, for me to explain it, I would lose you in 5 seconds. And it isn't about anyone being smarter than anyone. It's about 1 million people are not subjected to this way of thought. So a majority of you are going to subside with the masses that do not believe, they don't care, they don't think. There will be an elite few that will understand why this is deeper than GTA. Now, what's interesting about Mr. Johnny Gat here, okay, is the fact that he is the most noted character within the game series, no different than Claude Speed. But he also came out with a DLC pack that was GAT5. If we do not start understanding that segregate and rearrange was given to us for more reasons than to understand that it says Easter egg, we are supposed to understand that Easter eggs are tied to segregating and rearranging. I'm not necessarily looking at obvious attractions like the Gat Out of Hell expansion here and why they would reference religious views with Johnny Gat and him being an angel, okay? But I will bring up relevancies, okay, to something deeper. And it is part of what I mean about getting lost in certain things, but not getting lost in the right way. If you were to keep going with Saints Row, there will be a brick wall that you will hit at some point because you are not branching out into other things. Keyword is to branch. The fact of the matter here is that we are not just supposed to understand Johnny Gat. That is only one duality of who this person is. There is another side of this duality, and it goes by the name Daniel Day Kim, the voice of Johnny Gat. But he shares a duality, or a character, named Jin Soo Kwon in Lost. So once again, understand, you guys, Lost is one of our biggest understandings to this mystery. And we will begin to understand deeper things of engines and why they connect towards Lost and a lot of the other aspects of clues that we've brought up in the mystery. But understand, Lost will always bring us back to understanding elements within these clues. Always.
Missed the last train home. Birds pass by to tell me that I'm not alone. Oh, pushing myself to finish this part and handle a lot.